Hello and welcome. This is McGoobage. My name is Andy and this is a fairly new YouTube channel. For those of you that have seen my channel before, you would have seen that I did 2 playthrough series last season and got sacked twice in non-league. I'm useless with tactics. The thing is, I know there are plenty of people out there that also are. You're a bit like me, you struggle. So, I've been on the community forums, I've been around different websites, and I'm going to put together a tactical experiment. Now this experiment will be 4 of the most popular tactics tested with every single Premier League team, starting with the top 6 this week and then moving forward to the rest of the Premier League, just to see how effective they actually are. Now there are 2 types of people that play Football Manager, in my view. It's those that have the time to create and develop their own tactics, and there are those that don't have the time, that would love to have the time to develop their own tactics but need to play the game for an hour or a couple of hours a day or a couple of hours a week. They just want to download a popular one and give it a whirl. Hopefully these videos will give you a bit of a guide as to what tactics work with each team to help get me started. Let's get straight into it. Tactic number 1 is by Knap, who's a popular poster on the forums, the SI community forums, and it's the 4-2-3-1 Beowulf. There's plenty of different versions on here. He tests I think on FM Touch and things like that. It's the Giraffin version that we're going to be using. That is tactic number 1. That's a 4-2-3-1 formation. I'll go into it when we get into the game, but that's tactic number 1. Tactic number 2 is by Fuss, Minimal Fuss, Fastidious, or Fastidious I should say. Again, a regular poster. He's a regular poster on this particular forum, and I'm using the stable version 2. So all the links to the tactics will be in the description. Minimal Fuss, Fastidious, version 2, the 4-1-2-2-1 formation. Tactic number 3 is by Rossler, who is another brilliant technician, and he's a regular poster on the forums. His is the Steadfast, a flat 4-1-4-1 formation. Very, very popular, and again he has a lot of success with his tactics. This will be implemented as tactic number 3. Tactic number 4 will be Jamie's 4-2-3-1 attacking Catenaccio with set pieces. This is a very popular tactic on his Twitch channel, and this is going to be tactic number 4. So today it's all about Arsenal and whether or not these 4 tactics work with Arsenal and see how they progress. So what we're going to do is we're going to load through the first tactic, which is what we've already done. So these players have been picked on the very first, the day you start the actual game. So players that are injured on holiday, they're not available. As the season starts, they'll be fine. So this is Knap's Beowulf tactic. It's a 4-2-3-1 tactic. The Tipler set tick attacker, it's attacking. You play slightly shorter passing to space, play out of defence, low crosses, run at defence, work the ball into the box, overlap both sides, slightly lower tempo. You take short kicks, you distribute to fullbacks, you counter and counter press. Out of possession, you defend narrower with a higher defensive line and in line of engagement. Extremely urgent. Prevent short goalkeeper distribution. You get stuck in, we use tighter marking and use the offside trap. Now, I'm picking the players based on the strongest in their positions that will fit the team. As you can see, all the strongest players that are rated by the game are picked in the positions. Some of them won't suit the positions. That's just the way we're doing it to make sure everything's consistent. So you've got a goalkeeper on defend, Leno. You've got 2 wing backs on attack, Bellerin and Kolasinac. 2 ball playing defenders on defence, Socrates and Koscielny. Deep line playmaker on support is Xhaka. Box to box support is Ramsey. Inside forwards on both sides on support, Mkhitaryan and Lacazette, with Mesut Ozil as the attacking midfield on attack. Aubameyang's up front on attack. And let's see what happens. We're going to load the season through. All the staff, if you haven't seen this before, any one of my other videos, all the responsibilities are down to the staff. Training, tactics, pre-match tactical briefings, everything's done by them. I'm literally going on holiday. I've got no responsibility whatsoever. I'm going on holiday for a whole season. Let's see how the tactic plays out and let's see if it's successful. So here we are at the end of the season with tactic number 1, and Arsenal finished 2nd in the Premier League on goal difference alone from Liverpool. Liverpool won the league, Arsenal 2nd, Chelsea 3rd, City 4th. Europa League was Bournemouth, Man United and West Ham. let's have a look at the schedule to see how they performed in competitions. So, Premier League. A huge, long unbeaten run in the Premier League and in all competitions, by the way. Let's have a look at this. The first defeat in all competitions, my word, was in the FA Cup on the 17th of February to Chelsea. This is really impressive. This is huge. So Premier League 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36, 37. They nearly created the Invincibles again. They lost one game in the Premier League to Liverpool. But they've also won the Europa League final, which is fantastic. Let's have a look how they did in the domestic competitions. 37 game unbeaten run in the Premier League. That is outstanding. For those Arsenal fans watching this, you must have had those flashbacks to when you were Invincibles before. I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm not going to talk that much about it. Some big performances and wins here. Arsenal fans, you beat Tottenham 5-0. Spartak Moscow, you won in the first Europa League group game. Beat AFC Wimbledon in the EFL Cup third round. You beat Bordeaux in the group stages, followed by AZ. You knocked Tottenham out of the EFL Cup fourth round, 3-1. Another win in the Europa League. Beat Spartak in the Europa League 3-2. Europa League group game 0-0 with Bordeaux. EFL Cup quarter final, you beat QPR 4-1. You beat Man City away in the Premier League, and you follow that up with a win Boxing Day 4-2 at home against Liverpool. Tactic is really impressive for Arsenal. It's you'll see from the other videos that I've done, tactics don't suit certain teams. Where are we at now? Okay, FA Cup fourth round. You drew against Wigan, but won the replay 3-0. You got knocked out by Chelsea in the fifth round of the FA Cup. You beat Sporting in the knockout first round, Europa League. You won the League Cup final 5-1. So it's a cup double that Arsenal has achieved. Ajax, they won. Beat Marseille. Beat Marseille again. This run in the Premier League is absolutely outstanding. You beat Betis in the semi-finals yet, and Atletico. Look at that result against Atletico Madrid in the Europa League final. 7-1. Outstanding. Let's have a look at these players and who are the top performers in tactic number 1. Ozil was a key performer, 7.23, followed by Koscielny, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan. Goals-wise, Aubameyang, 41 goals from 59 games. Mkhitaryan, 15 goals from 56 with 17 assists. Mesut Ozil, 13 goals from 61 games, 20 assists. Torreira with 12 goals. And then Lacazette with 12 from 59. To sum up, tactic number 1. Arsenal finished behind Liverpool on goal difference. They lost one game all season. And that's the game that's cost them the league, the 4-1 away at Liverpool. But they won the EFL Cup and the Europa League, which is impressive. That's tactic number 1. Okay, this is tactic number 2. And tactic number 2 is minimal fastidious tactic. It's a 4-1-4-1 wide formation. It's a positive formation with shorter passing, play out of defence, work the ball into the box with a lower tempo, frequently waste time, roll it out, distribute to fullbacks, counter press, high defensive line, short goalkeeper distribution and use of the offside trap. Sweeper keeper on defend is Leno with 2 wing backs on support, Kolasinac and Bellerin. 2 centre backs on defend, Socrates, Koscielny. Defensive midfielder comes in, Torreira. Ramsey is the box-to-box midfielder on support with Xhaka as the Mazzala on attack. Inside forwards, as you can see, Mkhitaryan and Mesut Ozil on support. Aubameyang as a deep line forward on attack. Again, these are the strongest players according to the game in the squad that have just been put in these positions. It's for consistency. I know players don't play in certain ways, but this is what we're doing for the tactical test. We're going to load this through the season and see if this was just as impressive as tactic number 1. Let's have a look. Tactic 2. So, tactic number 2 was not as impressive in the Premier League. Arsenal finished 5th. City won the league, Liverpool 2nd, Tottenham 3rd, Everton 4th, Arsenal 5th, United 6th and Chelsea 7th. Let's have a look at the schedule and see how they did. So, let's have a look. The opening game of the season, lost away to Man City. At home to Man City. Then there was a good, impressive, unbeaten run on the Premier League, including a 3-1 win at home to Tottenham. First group game, they won 3-1 in the Europa League and won the EFL Cup third round, 2-0. Won their second Europa League group game, 2-1 away, 0-0 with Man United at home. Won again in the Europa League, 2-0. Won at home in the EFL Cup fourth round against Walsall, 1-0. Lost to Crystal Palace away in the Premier League. Again, another win in the Europa League away. Followed by a home win in the an away win in the Europa League. What's wrong with me? Good away win at Leicester, 3-0. They won the group game in the Europa League against Atalanta. Lost away to Man City in the Premier League, who did a double over them. Beat Liverpool at home in the Premier League and drew with Chelsea away. Beat Preston in the FA Cup third round. First leg of the EFL Cup semi-final, they beat Man United away. Lost away at home to Burnley, 2-1. Beat Man United in the second leg of the EFL Cup semi-final at home to progress to the final. This won't make you happy. They lost away 4-1 to Tottenham. Lost on penalties in the EFL Cup fourth round at home to Southampton. Followed up with a defeat at home to Watford in the Premier League. Rapid Vienna, they won home and away in the first knockout round to go through. Lost the EFL Cup final to Chelsea 3-4. Followed up by a defeat away at Wolves. Lost away 3-2 to Lyon in the Europa League second round knockout. But won 2-0 at home to go through. In between that, they lost to Crystal Palace in the Premier League away and home to West Ham. Lost away to Man United. They drew away against Seville in the quarter-final 0-0, but followed that up with a defeat at home. They lost 3-1 and were knocked out at the quarter-finals of the Europa League. They won their final home game of the season 3-1 against Chelsea, but lost away to Liverpool 3-0 in the final game. Disappointing season. Player-wise, average ratings, Kolasinac, Socrates and Torreira were the highest rated players. Goals-wise, Aubameyang 25 from 58 appearances, Xhaka 11 from 56, Ramsey 10 from 59. So it wasn't as good, that particular tactic. That was tactic number 2. So it's tactic number 3, and this is Rosler's Steadfast 4-1-4-1 version 2. This is an attacking tactic. In possession, you're short passing, you pass into space, play out of defence, low crosses, run at defence, work the ball in the box, you focus play for the middle. In transition, you take short kicks, counter and counter press. Out of possession, you defend narrower, higher defensive line again and a higher line of engagement. Extremely urgent. Prevent the short goalkeeper distribution and use of the offside trap. You have sweeper keeper on defend, Leno. 2 complete wing-backs on attack, Kolasinac and Bellerin. 2 central defenders on defend mentality, Socrates and Koscielny. A half-back in Torreira on defend. 2 wide midfielders on attack, Ozil and Mkhitaryan. 2 box-to-box midfielders on support, Xhaka and Ramsey. False 9 on support, Aubameyang up front. Again, they're the strongest players based on the game's ability ratings. So this is why Ozil and Mkhitaryan are out wide. Let's see how it gets on. This is tactic number 3. So, this is a major development. Tactic number 3, Arsenal are champions. 31 wins from 38 games, 3 draws and 4 losses. They won 96 points from Man City 2nd, Liverpool 3rd, Tottenham 4th, Chelsea 5th, United 6th and Huddersfield 7th. Let's have a look at schedule-wise, see what happens with results. Started with a win against Man City. Lost at home to Bournemouth. Beat Tottenham 5-0 at home. Started off the Europa League with a 4-0 win. Lost at home to Wolves in the EFL Cup and knocked out. Lost away at Watford in the Premier League. Won again in the Europa League group. Drew with United at home 3-0 in the Premier League. Won again in the Europa League. Then there's quite a long unbeaten run. Beat Crystal Palace 4-1. Won again in the Europa League away 4-3. Beat West Ham and Southampton in the Premier League. Won again in the Europa League away. 5 games without goals conceded. Huddersfield in the Premier League. Newcastle in the Premier League. Leicester Premier League. Legia Warsaw in the Europa League and Everton in the Premier League. Then suffered defeat to Man City away. Now look at this unbeaten run again. Look at this. So after the Man City defeat, they beat Liverpool in the Premier League and Chelsea. Won the FA Cup 3rd round comfortably. Beat Liverpool in the FA Cup 4th round. Beat Tottenham away 3-1 in the Premier League. Drew the first knockout game in the Europa League away, but won the return leg quite comfortably at home. Beat Preston in the FA Cup 5th round. Look at this unbeaten run, it's impressive. Drew with Ajax, but then beat them in the return game. Beat Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 6th round. Beat Huddersfield in the FA Cup semi-final. Beat Chelsea, Europa League quarter-final first leg and the away leg 1-0. Beat United 2-1 in the Premier League. Everton 4-1. Look at these. Europa League semi-final. First leg 6-0 against PSV. Followed by a 6-1 home win against Chelsea. 3-0 away win. 9-0 on aggregate in the Europa League semi-final against PSV. Lost to Liverpool 4-0 away in the Premier League. Beat Man City in the FA Cup final. Lost the Europa League final after extra time to Bayer Leverkusen, which is unfortunate. So let's just recap. I need to remember what they did. So they've won the double. They've won the League and FA Cup double. Unfortunately, they lost the Europa League final and they got nowhere in the EFL Cup. Player-wise, Bellerin, Klein, Mkhitaryan and Socrates were your best performers. Goals, Aubameyang, 26 from 55 games. Mkhitaryan, 23 from 58 games with 19 assists. Ozil, 14 from 56 with 10 assists. Ramsey, 13 from 55 and 5 assists. With Xhaka and Bellerin on 11 with 19 and 15 assists themselves. It's quite impressive performance. That's been tactic number 3. So to the final tactic. Tactic number 4, the FM Scout Catenaccio. I think that's how you say it. It's an attacking tactic. In possession, short passing to space, play out of defence. Low crosses, work the ball into the box. And this time you focus play down both sides with a lower tempo. Transition, you distribute to the fullbacks, counter and counter press. And out of possession, you defend narrow, a higher defensive line, a higher line of engagement, extremely urgent, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution. In this one, you get stuck in, using tighter marking and the offside trap. Goalkeeper and defence Leno, with the wing backs on attack Bellerin and Kolasinac. Ball playing defenders this time on defend Koscielny and Socrates. Deep line playmaker Xhaka. Box to box Ramsey, both on support. Two inside forwards Lacazette and Mkhitaryan on support. Ozil the attacking midfield on attack, and Aubameyang up front as the advanced forward on attack. Let's see what happens as we load the season through. So, tactic number 4, and Arsenal finished third in the Premier League. Liverpool won the league, Chelsea second, Arsenal third, Man City fourth, United fifth, Tottenham sixth and West Ham seventh. Schedule wise, so they started off the Premier League by beating Man City, which was a good result, followed by 3 more wins against Fulham, Bournemouth and Burnley. Oh dear, lost away at home, to Tottenham. Europa League started off very well, 8-0 away win. EFL Cup third round, they won the game 4-0 I should say. Lost to Watford in the Premier League. Another win in the Europa League. A Premier League win 4-2 against United. Another Europa League win 4-1. EFL Cup fourth round, beat Man City on penalties. Another Europa League win. Another big Europa League win. Defeat in the group stage of the Europa League. Defeat at home to Everton in the Premier League. Beat Burnley in the EFL Cup quarter final, but then unfortunately got 1 point from 3 games. A defeat against Man City, drew with Liverpool, lost away at Chelsea. Beat Stevenage comfortably in the FA Cup third round. First leg of the EFL Cup semi-final, lost to Chelsea and then lost to Bournemouth in the Premier League. Arsenal were knocked out in the EFL Cup on a penalty shootout at Chelsea, against Chelsea. Beat Cardiff in the FA Cup and Tottenham in the Premier League. Europa League first knockout round, they lost away but won the home game. Beat Swansea in the FA Cup fifth round after extra time. Lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup sixth round. Big wins in the Premier League against West Ham and Huddersfield. Drew with Marseille at home in the Europa League quarter-final first leg. Lost to Newcastle in the Premier League. Then got thumped away at Marseille and were out of the Europa League. Then a 4-game unbeaten run in the Premier League against Leicester, Man United, Everton and Chelsea. But they finished up with a defeat away at Liverpool in the Premier League. So it was a trophyless season for Arsenal. That was tactic number 4. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the videos that will be coming out. I'll be testing the same 4 tactics with all the Premier League teams just to see how they go. Let me know what you think of the video and the concept, and let me know if you download the tactics yourself. The links are in the description. See how you get on. Thanks again for watching. See you all next time.